Alright YouTubers, it's Bruce Lee Jun Fan 13 back with another video. I was just watching Lair of the White Worm on the horror channel, and just give me an idea for a video of films that don't really sort of like cut the mustard with me. So I went into my collection and I thought I'll just pick 10 out that just in my opinion I'm just not too fond of, or I've watched once, or maybe I just don't really like at all. So I'll just get into it. And first one is the Unborn, and I thought this was like okay, and you know, the story was not too bad, but I hated the CGI on it. You know, I can see where they were going with it, but I just feel that it could have been done ever so much better. As you can see, like, you know, I was looking forward to this part of like the guy sort of like all creeped over and running around and stuff. And well, another thing I hated, well, one thing I do hate about the movie is the loading up screen. When you put it in, waiting for it to like load up, it actually shows you all the best parts before you've even pressed play. So that's a bit of a non-bonus really. But there was a couple of creepy parts, but nothing that sort of stands up in my book. So that's that. Next one is The Happening. I know it's you know, M. Night Shyamalan. It's another one that I thought was okay. You know, it is a bit sort of like cheesy in parts. It could have been done a lot better. You know, performances are mediocre. The only part I did enjoy out of it is the lawnmower scene with you know, when they're all, you know, it's in full flight. The guy turns the mower on and just lies down and it runs over him. You know, I thought that was pretty good, but the rest of it, it just didn't sort. You know, I've watched it once or twice. It's been on TV. I've tried to sort of like it, but I mean, if it's a good movie, I like the ones that you just watch once. It sinks in your mind and you think, yeah, that's staying in my collection. That's a good one. But you know, I didn't think much of this. And Demons 2, and it's a bit weird with this one. I mean, I got Demons 1 and 2 because they were cheap. They were only like £1 from bargain bin. So you know, I do like Demons 1. It's not one of my favourites, but I do enjoy it. But this one, I don't feel, you know, the story was quite as good. The effects are a little bit, you know, it doesn't sort of stand up very well. It's not just like, you know, I do like the effects more in the first one. It was a lot more original as well. I can remember seeing it. I had a best friend when I was younger, and it was in his mum and dad's house on a VHS, and I always used to pick it up and look at it, and the cover it looked like really scary, one of the ones that looked like a video nasty or something, you know, and I didn't actually watch it until a few years later. But like I say, this one, it was, you know, it just didn't hold up as good as the first one for me. And you know, I just keep it because obviously it's in a set. I know there's a third one, The Ogre, but I've never seen that one. So this one might surprise you. The Grudge. I've tried watch it a couple of times. Well, 2 or 3 times maybe. I've either fell asleep, or if it's been on TV, I've like flipped over at halfway through or whatever on the break, you know, for the commercials. I just can't get into it. I know a lot of people love it, you know, people sort of like rave about it, but you know, for me, I don't know, it just doesn't keep me interested at all. And you know, I'm just not. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was okay in Buffy, but this one, I I'm just not so hot on. Devil Inside. You know, you might have seen me updated it last week in the other video, and I did try watch it again. I thought I'd give it another go. It was cheap, but and again, I love my exorcism films. I think, you know, when they're well done, I really enjoy them. But this one, I just think it's just too, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. You know, I know there's a lot worse out there as well, but there's a hell of a lot better ones. It could have been done better. It's got quite a good cast in it. You know, the acting wasn't too bad. It was just, you know, it wasn't demonic enough for me, and I think that's what let it down. And the ending was a bit rubbish. So that was number 5. Another M. Night Shyamalan, The Village. And I wasn't, you know, I've watched this a couple of times, and after halfway through, I just lose interest. It's one of them, it just doesn't keep me hanging on at all. I thought the ending was, you know, not very good. But up to halfway, you know, it's got its creepy parts. It's not too bad, but it's just the rest of it. It just doesn't cut it for me. So this is on a 3-pack. You know, it's not The Fly or Aliens. You know, I like them films. It was Resident Evil, and you know, it's one of them. I've tried to watch one or two of the others as well. I'd say that was the first one is probably the best one out of them, but I just don't like it. Can't get into it. American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in Paris. And the only reason that I hold a little bit of contempt for this one is because I love American Werewolf in London so much. It's one of my favourites of all time. You know, I can see where they were going with this, and it's an okay attempt at a sequel, but you know, I can't help but sort of judge it against the first one. You know, the acting's not too bad. It tries to be as funny as the first one, but it just doesn't get there for me. I mean, along with, you know, obviously the special effects in the first one, you know, it's all CGI, and it was CGI in its infancy. You know, how long ago was it? It's about 2000 or something like that. But you know, I'm not much for CGI werewolves. You know, they're okay in Underworld because of, you know, the good story to go with it. But you know, I do hang on to this one because it does come out now and again, but only because you know, it's got some not too bad parts in it. It is a little bit funny, you know, but it just doesn't hold up for me against the first one. It's not a poor sequel, but it's not great neither. House 3, obviously I might have said in one of my other videos, you know, House 1 is among my favourites from growing up, and you know, I love that movie. The second one is meh, you know, it's not too bad, but this one, it just strays away from House, the original, way too much. I think the acting is poor. It's just cheesy, but not in a good way. You know, I haven't even actually finished watching this one. I just didn't like it at all. You know, and it just doesn't do anything for me. So, and number 1, Psycho, the remake. You know, I can see, you know, they tried to make a good attempt at a remake with Psycho, but obviously, you know, I had the Blu-ray of it last week, watched it again, thought, you know, it's fantastic thought, you know, a film that's not gory, it's just more suspense, thriller, whatever you want to call it, and you know, I love Psycho. I'm looking forward to Bates Motel, that's probably going to come over to UK eventually. I know it started in America, it's just on the first episode. But this one, I'm not much for Vince Vaughn anyway. What's her name? Julianne Moore. I thought she was pretty good, actually. You know, not bad. But the film itself, it just doesn't, you know, like American Werewolf and Paris, House, the, you know, sequels, you know, as a remake, I'd say it's pretty poor. You know, they could have done it a lot better. And I think I've only watched it like once. I've caught it on TV since, and still don't think much of it. It just hasn't got that je ne sais quoi. So they're my top or bottom 10, as you might call it, of ones that, you know, don't cut the mustard with me. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.